I am number 4. Might as well call this I am number 2 because it's a piece of crap. Oh, what? Like, you weren't thinking of that joke either. Come on. Now, I joke about the title, but honestly, this film is just copy and paste from 2 other movies I've seen before. Jumper and Push. This movie could easily be called Jumper Part 3. There is nothing different. This is just rinse and repeat from those other films. Tell me, what has changed? It's just young teens who happen to have superpowers going out and having to fight for their lives against some evil corporation or some evil agency or some evil aliens in this case who just happen to want to kill them. But before I get ahead of myself, let me tell you guys what's basically going on with this movie. We have this character named John, and we find out early on that he's an alien from another planet. He was sent here to Earth along with 8 other alien children because their home planet was destroyed. Another alien race called the Mogadorians, I can't remember what the hell they're called, ended up destroying their entire planet and basically want to wipe out this entire race. So these 9 children are sent to Earth in a vain attempt to try and save at least part of their race. So as these children grow up on Earth, they realize that simply being on our planet gives them superhuman powers, such as speed, agility, telekinesis, resistance to fire and heat, and the incredible ability to turn your hands into flashlights. Okay. Eventually, this evil race of aliens finds out that these 9 kids were sent to Earth, and this is where the story gets a little confusing to me. For some reason, these kids can only be killed in order, from 1 to 9. We're never really explained why they have to be killed in sequence, but for some reason they have to be killed. And it's at this point in the story that plot holes start popping up like Charlie Sheen pops up in strip clubs. Aw, shut up, whatever, you know it's true. So these evil aliens come to Earth, they have to kill these kids in sequence, and our main character just happens to be the 4th in the sequence, thus the title of the movie, I Am Number 4. So John and his guardian, a man by the name of Henry, who's played by Timothy Oliphant, decide to flee to Florida in order to escape these invading aliens. What proceeds after this is basically scene after scene of, oh my god, I have to hide my powers. Oh, but I'm gonna use my powers. Hey, I saw you use your powers. No, I don't have powers. Oh look, I'm going to use my powers again for good. Hey, I saw you use your powers. No, I don't have powers. Do you see where I'm going with this, people? The movie jumps from special effects sequence back to slow plot, back to special effects sequence, back to slow plot, and so on until the very end of the movie, when we get actually a pretty decent action sequence. To be honest, I was bored out of my mind for the first 90% of this movie, but then once the final sequence came around, the special effects were pretty damn good, and I was actually entertained. Granted, I had no idea what was going on, I still didn't understand why things were happening, but it was still pretty cool to watch. And if there is one good thing I can say about this movie, it's that of all of the films I've mentioned that are like this, Jumper and Push and so on, this is probably one of the better ones I've seen. Granted, it doesn't make sense in a lot of parts, but the special effects are pretty good, it's fairly well acted, and you can get a sense that the directors and writers are at least trying to tell a story, unlike previous movies such as this, where it's basically just giving young heartthrobs a bunch of superpowers, along with bad, cheesy special effects. But that's really the only good thing I can say about this movie. There were certain parts that I didn't think were bad, but they certainly weren't good. To be honest, for about half this movie, I was just laughing at the fact that these evil aliens looked like they came from a skinhead rally in the Matrix universe. There are so many plot holes left in this movie, and there is so much left unexplained, that I can't give this movie a pass. Despite there being good special effects, and despite the best effort of the cast and crew, I just didn't have a good time with this. Now, it could just be that I've seen one of too many of this type of movie. If you're under the age of 15, 14, you may have a good time with this, because you're not going to be thinking about the plot holes. You're not going to be thinking about the problems with the story. But I will say this, if you do fall into that category, of these type of movies, I would say this is the best one for you to watch. Don't go out and see Jumper, and definitely don't go out and see Push. Those are pieces of crap. This one certainly isn't good for you, but it certainly isn't bad for you either. So, final rating. At this point, all I can say is that I am sick and tired of seeing these type of movies. Every single one of them feel like they combine The Watchmen with the CW. I cannot take it anymore. I cannot give this movie a good rating simply because of all the flaws it does have. However, if you do fall into the demographic that this movie is targeted towards, this is probably one of the better movies for you to see. But that is what I want to leave you guys on. If you have critical tendencies, avoid this movie. If you don't, you may have a good time with it. I'm going to give I Am Number 4 2 stars. I feel like giving it a little bit of a lower rating than that, but you know what? That last action sequence was pretty cool, and there were parts in the movie where I wasn't completely bored. Strangely enough, though, I found out after this movie that I Am Number 4 was released by Bay Films, owned of course by producer and director Michael Bay. And I said to myself, a multi-million-dollar movie that has great special effects and very little plot? Gee, Michael Bay's never done that before. Oh, you'll boo my other jokes but not this one? Ah, forget you. Take care.